Hey, welcome to Outsmart Your Guitar. Glad you could join us. In this edition of Blues Guitar, we're going to focus on Chicago blues rhythms. If you've never played this kind of rhythm before, it's a lot of fun to explore and investigate. If you like Muddy Waters and Buddy Guy, those are two examples of the Chicago blues style. All right, so let's just get right to it. And be sure to like and subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar along the way. And remember, down in the description is a link to patreon.com/outsmartyourguitar. Click on that, go on over, join for free, and sample the lessons that are available to you. Then come on board as a full-on patron, subscribing at one of 3 levels. You'll get expanded versions of lessons that are featured here, a lot of lessons that are not featured here, and all the written material to lessons that have them. All right, let's go. Let's start out really basic. Chicago style blues does use a pretty straightforward blues progression like a lot of other styles where you're rocking between the 5 and the 6 tone. In this case, we're in E. And so you're going to be rocking between those, right? And you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner of the diagram is a metric modulation showing that the rhythm is actually swung or shuffle feel, right? Now, I have a phone app that allows you to break down the subdivision showing the triplet where you're playing just the first and the third note of the triplet, right? So when you play the metronome, it clicks on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right? So it allows you to really perfect the swing feel like this. And that way I can really focus on perfecting my swing feel because I have a metronome that's going to help me do that. So if you don't have an app like this, go find one that allows you to choose the subdivision and triplets with the first and the third note of the triplet being highlighted. So take a couple minutes, go over this progression right here. You have E, A, and B, which I just played through for you, and just kind of get comfortable with that and really work on the shuffle feel because that is an essential element to Chicago style blues along with a few other styles as well. All right, we're going to dwell a little bit on this particular shuffle. It's the box shuffle. This is the first example, and you'll notice we're playing each note twice. So we're starting in the key of A on the 5th fret of the 6th string twice. Then we jump to the octave on the 4th string at 7. And then we play the flat 7, the G, also on the 4th string. And then the 5 tone, the E, on the 5th string at 7. And you'll notice metric modulation, it's a swing. Now you'll notice I'm playing it a very specific way. What I want you to look at in the diagram is you'll see on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th beat notes, there is a dot. And that dot is a staccato mark. Staccato means to play the note very short, not let it ring out. The second note of each doublet is played normal. So you have one short, one long, like that. So now what you want to do is bring in your metronome and play it. And get that down. The next thing you want to do is play a progression. So you're going to play A, D, back to A, E, D, A, E. And here's what you're going for. 2, 3, 4. Well, I muffed one note there, but you get the idea. Okay, so pause and practice this. And you'll notice I'm at a nice slow tempo. I'm at 56 beats a minute. And that way it really allows me to focus on digging into getting those notes played right where they belong. Now, when you play at a slower tempo, you have to be more precise in your note placement. And I find that very beneficial as a way to practice, because then you really challenge your timekeeping skills as well. So you have to be more precise. Less slop is allowed. So go ahead and practice at a slower tempo to help perfect your note placement, to get that where it belongs. All right? This box shuffle pattern is a variation on the one we just went through. So the first 3 parts of it are the same. Now in the next bit, on the 4th beat, instead of just doing, we actually start on the 5th fret of the 5th string and play a full triplet, 5, 6, and 7. Then you bring in the metronome. And you practice that until you got it down. Very important stuff here. Take your time, because this is what's going to make you a much better rhythm player overall. Good rhythm players are not a dime a dozen. They are a precious commodity. So the better you are as a rhythm guitar player, the more likely you're going to get the gig. Let me tell you, I've gotten gigs solely on the basis of my rhythm playing being so tight. All right, so now we play the progression. Now, practice it again at a slower tempo so that you can really dig into getting your note placement precise. Do not allow any slop in there, okay? So take your time, no rush. Good rhythm skills are essential. One last rhythm here for you. This is the two-step rhythm because it's generally written in 2/4 time, but you can still write it in 4/4, and you're playing on the beat. Yes, you see the metric modulation. The rhythm is played straight, but everything else is swung. You're playing the 5, the 6, and the 7, the flat 7. Right? But the guitar is still playing with the swing feel. So you bring in the metronome, and I've got it at 90 beats a minute. Straight through. So again, bring in the metronome, practice this, get it right. And remember, you're playing in straight time, but everybody else is swinging. So, you and the bass are playing pretty straight. The drummer is still tapping out a swing on the cymbals, even though he's going to be playing roughly straight time with the snare, and maybe the kick drum is going to swing a little bit too for the offbeat notes, and that's where the swing comes in behind what you're doing. You and the bass and maybe the keyboard player will be playing it pretty straight. So you want to practice this. So then you bring in the metronome, and here's what a whole progression is going to sound like. So you just practice this, right? And get it down and really pay attention. Again, here's another one where you have to count and be very clear in what's going on. You can play it as a straight 12 bar at a little slower feel, but it's technically 24 bars and two-step because it's often written in 2/4 time. All that said, practice this, get it down. It's really cool to play this, and then to solo over it's a lot of fun too. So have fun with it. All right, there you have it. Some essential Chicago blues rhythm approaches that you want to explore and investigate and then integrate into your playing. If you're into blues even a little bit, this is essential stuff because it gives you variety based on using not just British blues and Delta blues, Piedmont blues, but now Chicago blues, right? And that's really cool. The more variety you can put in, and then you can actually mix and match and blend to create a little bit more of a hybrid idea, This is where new ideas come from, is the more stuff you learn, the more you can bring together and create kind of a fusion, right? And that is awesome. So have fun with this, and then get into a jam session with some people and put some of these ideas into practice and get the other folks on board as well. And you'll have a ball. Trust me, this is the kind of stuff that makes jam sessions a lot of fun. Okay, that'll do for this lesson. I thank you for letting me spend the time with you here to teach you this stuff. I know you have a desire to learn. I have a desire to teach. So until next time, you take care, and we'll see you there.